What it do, man? It's your boy Josh back up in this thing with another one. When you woke up this morning, it's another beautiful day. All praise to the Most High, man. Let's get it. Guys, I am telling you that you have the power to be the best version of yourself, to be the best you. And I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of backstory as far as in how I have become this person that stands before you today, that does YouTube videos and shares my spiritual experiences and offer my spiritual and life advice to you all. I want to tell you that what has made me who I am today is through experiences of trial and error. Learning. That is how you learn. You learn by bumping your head a few times, learning what not to do. And in today's video, I want to describe to you or go back to a time where I was in a depression from the year of 2021 until about the beginning of 2023. I was in a depression. I was in a very dark place. I was the worst version of myself. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I ended up getting there and how I have put measures in place to ensure that I will never go back there. In fact, I've put measures in place to ensure that I will be the best version of myself every single day. I am the most happiest, most fulfilled guy right now, the best I have ever felt in my entire lifetime. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the game of how I have came from where I've come from to where I am today. Now, when I was in a depression, I was in a state or feeling that I did not have control over my life. I felt as if I did not have control over my life. And that's because I had convinced myself that I did not have control over my life. I was working in the United States Army, what I do right now today as a young lieutenant. And I joined a unit in about June or July of 2021. And I was in this unit until January of 2023. So for about 18 months, throughout that entire time, I had felt like my life was out of my control. The reason why is because I was responding to everything around me by reflecting what was around me. I was surrounded by negativity. I was surrounded by anxiousness. I was surrounded just by things and people that were not promoting positivity, to say the least. And as somebody who had acknowledged that that was around his external, that was around him, what I did was I allowed that to get to me. And so much so that I allowed the external to affect the internal. I was seeing and dealing and hearing of negative situations, and my immediate response was negative as well. I was negative on negative on negative. And to give you guys some insight, this not only affected how I was feeling at work, but I carried those feelings home as well. I was engaged. I had met a girl the exact same time that I had joined this unit, June of 2021. I met a lovely young woman who eventually became my fiance around 9 months later, February of the following year, February of 2022. I had become so negative that my negativity would come home and I would present it to her every single day. Every single day I would go home and complain and complain and complain and complain and look at things for the worst case scenario and not have any sort of positivity, not have any sort of emotion. I had convinced myself that I had no control over my life and that the negative beings, the negativity that was surrounding me had outright full control. And if you feel that way, you will feel as if you don't have control over your life. And when you don't feel like you have control over your life, that is a key instigator to put a person into a depression or a season of depression. So now, not only is my relationship that was once positive and once a wonderful thing in my life, I have now manifested negative energy back at home. There will be times where my fiance would be in a very great mood, a very ecstatic mood, having a great day, not necessarily having to be experiencing as much negativity as I am. And here I am bringing my negativity to her, bringing her down, beginning to influence her to start being like me as well. And then eventually, as months have gone by, our relationship became very negative. It was no longer positive. And therefore, there was negativity spewing all around me. And I was telling God, I was like, why me? Why am I having to deal with all this? Why is every interaction is negative? Why am I angry and upset every single day? I said, why? I didn't get it now, but I get it. I didn't get it then at that moment, but I get it now. I had chose the easy wrong decision. It was easy for me to point blame and complain and bitch about my problems. That's easy to do, but that's not necessarily the right thing to do. Looking back, I realized that I had given power to these negative things that were around me instead of standing up to the negativity and saying, I will not allow you to force me into being negative, into being upset, into being angry. I will not let these external factors or these external failures and everything that fails to happen and everything that's going wrong to be a reason for me to choose to be upset, for me not to be happy. So the reason as to why I am bringing this video up is because it was mentioned to me at work that, hey Josh, you are too nice. You are too nice. And my immediate response was, I'm not too positive, because I'm very positive and I'm a very nice and kind individual, even when it's not deserving of others or other people don't deserve my positivity or niceness. I am still giving it away. Why am I doing that? Why am I choosing to be positive? Why am I choosing to be happy regardless of what happens around me? It's because I refuse to allow any external factor, anything outside of me, anything that is outside of my control to affect the one thing that is in my control. And that is choosing to be happy, choosing to be fulfilled, choosing to be ecstatic about life. I refuse to allow anything outside of my control to take that away from me. That is the one thing I have in my control, is me being able to get up every single morning, every single day. Thank God that I woke up this morning. Thank God for all the things that I have in my life. And I choose to feel as if I am that guy, as if I am untouchable. Because when I think about the best version of myself, the me at my happiest, me if I had everything I wanted in life and I did not need anything else, what would that Josh Holt be doing? That Josh Holt would be feeling ecstatic. That Josh Holt would be happy. That Josh Holt would feel at peace. That Josh Holt would wake up and have a smile from ear to ear all day, every day until the time he went to bed. Why? Because he has a sense of fulfillment and life is good. There is no complaints. So if that is the Josh that feels fulfilled, if that is the Josh that is at his happiest, What are some attitudes, or what are some characteristics or behaviors that Josh Holt would be doing? Well, for one, that Josh Holt would not allow anything negative to touch him, allow anything external to affect his internal world. His internal world, in his mind, he believes that he is at peace. He believes that life is good, and he refused to allow anybody to convince him or any situation to change his thought process. Josh Holt looks at himself in the mirror and loves who he is. This dude looks like he is one cold individual. He's working out. He's being disciplined every single day. He's wearing the clothes that fit him right. He has the utmost confidence in himself. He has the utmost confidence in his appearance. And so he loves himself. So he's not going to put himself in a position for anybody to try and show him otherwise. That Josh Holt chooses to be the best version of himself. That Josh Holt chooses to be good, to live a good life. And he chooses to be positive and not give power to anything outside of his control. If it's something that is not in his control, he does not let it affect his mental. He does not let it affect his emotional. He realizes that if it's not in his control, then it's not worthy of his energy. It's not worthy of more energy than the energy that he would give himself. So when I said the reason why I am being nice, the reason why I'm being very, very kind, is because I am adopting the characteristics and the behaviors of being the best version of myself. And I see the best version of myself in doing these said things. And if I continue to do these said things, then that version of myself will then eventually become reality. You guys ever heard about don't dress for the job that you have right now, dress for the job of what you actually want in the future? Well, then you need to dress the attitude, dress the energy, use the energy, adopt all the things and characteristics that that best version of yourself would have. Don't wait until you get there to start feeling that way. Adopt those characteristics right now. Claim your power over your life. Claim your power and authority over your own happiness right now. And you will watch how that version of yourself becomes reality. It becomes real world. That negative situation, that depression, I left that unit. I lost my fiance. And I was back at square one. And I started to say, if I'm going to start going back again, if I'm going to go back and join another unit again, if I'm going to have another relationship, something's got to change. The common denominator in all of this is myself. The negative external things are always going to be there to go and try to creep into your mind, to tell yourself that you are not worthy, to tell yourself that you are not capable, to tell yourself that you are not deserving of the best. That constantly has you in a state of anxiousness. I will not allow that to have power over me anymore. I would have panicked and freaked out and been thinking and wondering and then trying to figure out problems that aren't even problems yet, all because I'm allowing this negative stuff on the outside affect my internal world. When I leave work, I leave the work problems there at work. I choose to not let it take away the peace and the serenity that I get to see and experience out here in this beautiful nature in my neighborhood. I would not be able to experience the beauty of where I'm standing at right now if I would be worried about all the problems that aren't even happening yet. I have to understand and realize that negativity and problems are always going to exist, but I can choose whether or not how big or how influential or and especially how powerful those negative things can have over me. What I'm really just telling you is you just need to master the art of just not caring. Not caring. Do not worry about the things that are outside of your control. Focus on the things that are in your control, and you are in control of your happiness. You are in control of being the best version of yourself. You are in control of being fulfilled. You are in control of how you feel about yourself. You are in control of how you think about yourself. The same negative thoughts that you have about yourself, you can choose to think positive thoughts instead. Why do you consistently think of the negative thoughts? Why do you consistently feed into the negative things about yourself? Why don't you feed the positive things? Why don't you feed into the things that make you worthy, that make you incredible, that make you that guy? I want those ideas, those things that are positive about you. I want you to consistently feed them and feed them and feed them and tell yourself that you are that guy and you are worthy and capable of being the best version of yourself, and you can be the version of yourself. And if you can be the best version of yourself, you should be the best version of yourself, and you will be the best version of yourself. You have the ability to choose to be the best version of yourself. Point blank, period. Nobody is preventing you. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stand against you. When it comes to your happiness, when it comes to your fulfillment in life, nobody is in the way of that. You can choose that right now, today. As simple as it sounds, is as simple as it is. I'm not thinking negatively no more. I'm thinking positively. I will refuse to feed in negative thoughts. I will only feed positive thoughts. I will only be positive. Because if I am positive, that will eventually attract more positivity. If you think you're a loser and you go into a game thinking that you're going to lose, the likelihood of you losing is pretty high. But if you think that you're going to win, and you believe that you're going to win, and you believe that you're worthy of winning, and you believe that you put in all the work necessary in order to put you in the best position for you to win, then your likelihood of winning are going to be high, my friend. But it all starts with your belief. It all starts with your thoughts, and you have the ability to choose your thoughts. You have the ability to choose what you believe in. So choose to believe that you are the best, and you are the best. Claim it. And if you claim it, then it is so. So that's all I got for y'all boys, man. I hope this helps. Before y'all go, please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'ma holla at y'all boys.